How has other countries accepted Serbian police?
Very well.
Okay.
Very well. Excellent.
Yeah.
Imamo saradnju sa svim zemljama u Evropske unije. Stvarno imamo dobru saradnju.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Laidler, your host of the LEO First podcast, and if you can tell, I'm right now in Belgrade, Serbia. You can tell with the police union of Serbia and some of the things you see on the table. One of the cool things about having a podcast is that it allows me to travel everywhere, and I'm able to bring my phones, my microphones, my stands, as long as the lighting is good, I'm able to podcast from anywhere in the world. And this will be my first time doing an international podcast, which obviously it's amazing to be able to do it in Belgrade, but it just shows how there's good law enforcement everywhere in the world. And that's what you're going to get in today's episode. You're going to get a perspective and you're going to get an understanding that no matter where you're at, anywhere, we have good people. And we have people that are always trying to promote the industry. We have people that are trying to increase the different laws and rules and opportunities for people in law enforcement, and this is going to be no different. Just that it's from a different country, but we're still all battling the same things that we have going on. And what you're going to hear from today from my guests is things that highlight just how good of a person he is. And what you guys don't know is that I got here probably like an hour and a half ago. We didn't have Rakia. Rakia. I hadn't had coffee, so for me, like first I'm not a coffee person, but I had the espresso this morning, so I'm a little bit more energetic already. And then I had the rakia that kind of balanced me out. But it's what we do here in Serbia.
Yes.
And the fact that people are so open, it's just cool. It's just cool. I can tell you that I've been here for about 24 hours, and I can see coming back in the near future once I leave and go, because it's been that good. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a twist on the podcast today. Some of our conversation is going to be in English because that's my primary. But when Ivan starts talking about certain topics, he's going to talk more in Serbian. And what we'll end up doing is we'll have that part translated with captions, and then we'll probably get some of that dubbed as well.
Yes.
Just because I want to make sure that he can completely explain everything. Now, he understands English and he speaks pretty good English, but like anybody that has a second language, whether it's Spanish, French, Hebrew, Latin, if that's your primary language, sometimes it's hard to express all your thoughts in English. So I just want to make sure that I give him the full benefit of the doubt. So we are going to have some of this translated in Serbian. Now, the cool part about it is you're going to maybe learn some Serbian as well. I know I'm going to try to, but we're going to make sure that we are able to reach as many people through things that he's talking about. So you guys have heard me talk about the introduction, where I'm at. Now, Ivan's going to tell you more about him, but he's been in law enforcement for going on 20 years, kind of like me.
Yes,
we both started in 2005, and Erica Kirk, if you're watching, I know we just were on a podcast a couple of weeks ago in LA, and she started in 2005 as well. So it's like everybody started in 2005. So
Good year.
Yeah, good year. It's a very good year. So I'm sorry if you're starting in 2024 or any other year, but in this industry, it's always just interesting as you talk to people and you figure out like their life, and you start hearing like the similarities, like 2005. Like that's pretty cool. But Ivan, he's very involved in the police union. So involved that back in 2019 he was president. But also, he showed me some photos. So he's actually a baller. They actually did some work in China a couple of years ago. They beat the U.S. team. So if you want to fact check me, go check out his Instagram, and we'll put that in there later. But I can tell you, it's cool when you meet another brother that has similarities to you and that has been around, just really highlighting, like I said, showcasing the industry. But once again, he's very involved in bringing up the industry. And for me, I love having people on the show that want to do that and continuously are trying to make us better. So enough about me, enough about the background. Ivan Guduric. Gosh, boy, I've been trying. Close. Hey, I'm going to learn some Serbian before I go.
Yes.
I'm going to learn the good words and the bad words probably. More good words. But tell us, so we're here. We're here in your home, Belgrade. We're here in your country. What do you want to talk about today?
Hi, Mike. Hi for your public. And I speak now for Serbian. Okay?
Yeah, go do it. Yes.
Još jedan pozdrav za publiku, za tvoju publiku i za tvoje pratioce na Instagramu i na ostalim društvenim platformama koje imaš. Još jednom da se predstavim, Guduric Ivan, član Policijskog sindikata Srbije, član upravnog odbora Policijskog sindikata Srbije, zadužen za zapadnu Srbiju. Spomenuo si, počeo sam da radim 2005. godine u policiji, 20 godina sam policijski službenik, pripadnik Ministarstva unutrašnjih poslova Republike Srbije. U sindikatu sam već 10 godina, zadužen za zapadnu Srbiju kao što sam i rekao i kao i svaki sindikat u Srbiji, tu smo da pomognemo našim članovima, policajcima u Srbiji, da njima bude bolji društveni status, bolje plate i tako, tu smo. Policijski sindikat Srbije, Policy Union Serbia, I speak about it, osnovan 2006. godine, broji trenutno oko 12.000 članova i mi smo prvi reprezentativni sindikat koji je potpisao poseban kolektivni ugovor u istoriji Ministarstva unutrašnjih poslova, koji je potpisao kolektivni ugovor kojim se definišu veća prava pripadnika Ministarstva unutrašnjih poslova. Kad kažem pripadnika Ministarstva unutrašnjih poslova, mislim i na policijske službenike, tako i na ostale radnike na izdavanju ličnih karata, ID, workers, za vozačke dozvole, vatrogasci, fire workers, and ostali. Tako da...
Ostani, what is that?
Ostali, others.
Others, okay, okay. I heard you face fire, what is hostile? Okay.
I tu smo za njih. Služimo za njih, što kažu, služimo našim članovima i do sada smo bili veoma uspješni u tom. Sama činjenica da smo potpisali taj prvi kolektivni ugovor donijela nam je mnogo benefita, veća su nam prava u smislu plaćen nam je noćni rad, smenski rad, night shift is paying much or
as a police officer.
As a police officer and fire.
Fire as well.
Yes, and all. I svi ostali. Onda imamo, sa tim smo postigli istorijski iskorak. Znači, tu smo napravili ogroman iskorak jer period pred toga nismo imali ništa. Nothing. I onda smo počeli da radimo na, što kažu, jačanju sindikata. Sindikat je postao međunarodni priznat. Imali smo saradnju i dalje imamo saradnju sa Evropskom policijskom unijom, Policy Union. Mi smo njihovi članovi, tako da prikupljamo sa svih strana iskustva i primjenjujemo ih u Srbiji. Kao iskustva iz Amerike, like your experience from America, and I implementiram u Srbiju. Gdje mogu, naravno. Koliko dozvoljavaju zakonski okviri naše države. Ali uglavnom, kao sindikat, mi smo tu da reagujemo, da prepoznamo ono što je loše, da pokušamo da ispravimo i da policijski službenik i ostali radnici Ministarstva unutrašnjih poslova budu zadovoljni, a mi tu zajedno sa njima.
It's cool. It's so when we play it back and we edited everything and we'll go through it. It's interesting, and this is I know this ain't gonna highlight everything you said, but from my perspective, listening, it's like when you really listen to somebody, you can kind of have an idea what they're saying, which is cool.
Yes.
Like, which is pretty cool.
Yes,
and obviously, there's certain words
yes,
that there's certain words in Serbian that sound kind of similar to English, so I try to pick those up, but I can tell. And for one of the things I want to highlight right now is that even though like we don't have that direct language, I understand the passion that you have for what you do. because the explanation that people are gonna be able to go back and see, it, once again, it shows how much you love police work.
I believe in this police union.
Yeah.
Union, global union. To je veoma bitno. Bitno jer kad smo svi zajedno, it's all together, mnogo smo jači, stronger.
Yeah.
I onda možemo da izađemo sa nekom našom željom, zahtjevom, da kažemo mi želimo to bi trebalo da bude tako, to treba da se promeni. Kao što sad ima mnogo nekih stvari koje smo tražili da se izmeni novim. Mi smo sada produžili, samo ću spomenuti tu stvar da smo pre par dana produžili kolektivni ugovor za policijske službenike i da smo već ušli u pregovore za novi. Znači, produžili smo ga nekih godinu dana i ušli smo u pregovore za novi gdje smo dostavili ministarstvu naš predlog koji sadrži preko 90 članova gdje tražimo neke stvari koje smo izgubili u zadnjih nekoliko godina.
I globally, you're right. And sometimes it's hard because we think police work is only one way. Yeah. We always think it's only like, for example, in the U.S., we may say we're the only ones that experience stuff like this. Yeah. Then you get to Serbia and you're like, well, we're the only one, but it's not. It's like things that we face as people. Like, no matter if it's talking about like pay, or it's talking about like family life, it's very similar everywhere. Like the stress you have to go through or have gone through as a working in police. Like you see some bad things. Now, one thing I know we talked about in the pre-show was some of your global efforts. And if you said it before, or I just want to bring it up again. When you've tried to enhance police, especially from the police union of Serbia, how have other countries received you from the Serbian, like I'm trying to think of how I can word this. And no, we're not going to edit none of this out. I'm trying to say I don't make sure I get the word. Okay. How has other countries accepted Serbian police?
Very well.
Okay.
Very well. Excellent.
Yeah.
Imamo saradnju sa svim zemljama u Evropske unije. Stvarno imamo dobru saradnju. Kako mi kao sindikat, tako i naše ministarstvo. Tako da pogotovo sa zemljama u okruženju. Govorimo isti jezik, isti su problemi. Tako da sve se svodi to na jedno isto. Tako da imamo odličnu saradnju. I ti si spomenuo malo pre da smo 2019. godine bili u Kini, China.
Yeah.
Na poziv.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Na poziv.
I haven't even been to China.
Yeah, na poziv države Kine, gdje smo predstavljali represent Serbia, Serbian police in China, u Kini, i gdje smo dostojno predstavljali. Tu smo igrali basketball, playing basketball, 3-on-3, 5-on-5, win America. Yeah.
I will tell you, in this past Olympics, come and talk about basketball. And people know I love basketball. Yes. And obviously I can tell you do too. Yes. Our 3-on-3 in the Olympics. And I didn't watch a lot of it. I just know we didn't do well. I don't know how we select our players, but we definitely got dominated 3-on-3. Now the Olympics was a little different, and I told you before the pre-show, I believe if any team could have beat the U.S. team in the Olympics, it would have been Serbia. And it's just, once again, it kind of goes back to the global efforts, and that's cool because what people don't get is like in certain countries like Serbia, like when you have, just let's say sports. If you're good, that's already bringing good national attention. So now in your role in the police union, now you have to keep going with that. Because I look at Serbia and people say, well, what made you choose Serbia? Well, first and foremost, I said the food. The food. That's what brought me to Serbia. But then once I arrived here, I realized how safe it was.
Yes.
Because Americans, and I could just speak on what I grew up around, when we look at countries in Europe and the more east you go, we're like, oh, we're like the Balkans. We're talking about Croatia and we're talking about Slovenia or Slovakia. We start thinking all this, and then we usually on the outside we just stick Serbia in there. But once you actually get here, you're like, this is really nice. Like the country of Serbia is nice and safe. And that's something that I think people need to know, because I can tell you, once you go back to there's a lot of perspective. I can't speak for all millions of Americans, but a lot of people that I said was, when I told them I was coming to Serbia, they were like, Serbia? This ain't the UK or London, but it's, to me, and like I've been nowhere else in Europe, but this is amazing here. And I travel often. People will see me not just in the US. I've been to Egypt, I've been to Dubai, I've been to Kyrgyzstan, I've been to multiple Costa Rica, Colombia. I really like it in Serbia. You guys are doing good, but I know part of that is what you're doing here in the police union. What you guys have formed, like you guys just have a good system here. So when we're looking at how good the police union is here, how does that translate to family life?
Family life is very hard.
Yeah.
Mnogo vremena, much time provodimo u radu, na telefonu, za kompjuterom, mnogo administracije, mnogo ljudi ima problema. To su sve neki problemi, sitni problemi, mali problemi koji mi kao njihove kolege, njihovi predstavnici, čuvari, da kažemo čuvari, defender, police defender. Yes.
And we can use defenders, guardians, sheepdogs, whatever you want. We have all the terms, but yeah.
I mi smo dostupni 24 časa, phone i call, oni pozovu, mi se javimo, pošaljemo naše predstavnike na teren, izvrše uvid, pomognu, reše što mogu oni da reše, što ne, mi rešavamo kroz sistemski, kroz ili izmene zakona ili kroz pravilnike ili kako već to ide. Tako da, a što se tiče Srbije, vratit ću se samo. Srbija, kad se spomene kao Srbija, to je neka stara slika, old Serbia. This is new Serbia. Srbija koja je bezbedna, mogu slobodno reći da smo među bezbednijim zemljama u Evropi.
New Serbia, I don't know what old Serbia was like, me personally, but whatever you guys are right now, I love it.
Yes. Među bezbednijim zemljama u Evropi, Belgrade, jug, možeš da ideš, znači nema kraja grada gde ne možeš da odeš i gde ćeš biti bezbedan. Kako u Beogradu, tako i u ostalim delovima Srbije. Pogotovo kad ima jedan taj deo Šumadija, tu je, što ti kažeš, rakija, najbolja rakija, wine, vina.
Yeah,
excellent.
And we drink in the US too, so don't worry.
Gde god da odeš u te krajeve Srbije, si bezbedan. Uvek si bezbedan. Tako da, znam, poznato mi je slika naša u Evropi, ali mi se trudimo da to ispravimo, da prikažemo pravu našu sliku, jer su nas neki prezentovali na neki način koji nije tačan. I sad, ne samo sindikat, nego i cijelo ministarstvo i cijela država govori o tome da smo mi drugačiji, da smo otvoreni, open for you, your colleagues, tourists.
Oh, it is. Don't worry. Even when we're done with this podcast, I'll be posting stuff online between food and walking. I mean, I just posted a story earlier today about me come do the podcast because that's what you guys created. I like walking around. People know that I got my Brooks on right now, my Brooks walking shoes. The safety and the appeal, especially for where Serbia is at, to me, it's like a hidden gem from the U.S. side. Yeah. Because you get here, it's like a treasure. Like, it's like something, once you get here, like, why isn't everybody coming to Belgrade? Like, why isn't people just coming? But it's the perception. But that's why we're doing podcasts like this, because we want to change perceptions.
Tako je. To je to. Mi smo u tome, da kažemo, mi smo uvek, da kažem, bili ovakvi. Samo što je ta slika bila iskrivljena, da kažem. Tako da, to je to. Family, porodica. Da se vratimo na family, porodicu. Oženjen sam, imam 2 djece, imam sina, imam ćerku. Kući sam najmanje. Moje odsustvo kuće je baš veliko jer sam non stop na putu, na terenu sam, idem od grada do grada. Tako da, ali sve za policiju, sve za sindikat, borba. Da se borimo zajedno, struggle. Together and to je to.
So, since we're talking about family, how, even from like being here, how important is it to have that family support?
Bez podrške porodice ništa. Ja stvarno imam veliku podršku. I have big sports family. Big sport.
And it's important.
Yes,
No,
sport.
it takes a lot.
Oni su prepoznali to što ja radim, prepoznali su da je zdravo, da je dobro i meni je bitno da moja djeca to vide i da oni krenu tim nekim putem da prepoznaju ono što je zdravo. I ono što je pravo i šta treba da se prave vrednosti da se podrže. Policija u Srbiji, policija u Evropi, Nemačka, Amerika, police, is same.
Yeah, very.
Nema vera, nema ništa.
Yeah.
Blue line.
Yeah.
Blue line.
Yeah.
It's blue line, people, criminal, blue line.
Yeah.
Mi smo uvijek tu, ta tanka linija i smatram da treba da proširimo to prijateljstvo, tu međunarodnu saradnju, da pređe i na američki kontinent. Tako da primimo iskustva iz Amerike, da nešto naše vama, da vi vidite nešto što mi radimo, da implementiramo i to je to.
So
that is it.
Yeah, no. I was.
To je to. That's it.
Yeah, no. I was thinking of a question like many people that watch the podcast, they know that a lot of my questions just come up on the fly, and although I don't hear every word you're saying, I feel a lot of them. And part of like communication, it's only 7% the words we use. Then there's about 38% on how you say it, but the other 55% is body language. And just through the body language, it's amazing that I could tell, although this is what you guys do in the police union of Serbia, you stay busy, you stay stressed, but the importance of family is what helps you, or one of the things that help you when you get home. And without the support, you couldn't do it. And that's the struggle, because not are you just not in law enforcement and police, but now you're fighting for law enforcement, but you still got to go home. Yes. And that's what sometimes people don't realize. They're like, well, he's in the police union. That's all he does in his life. No, you have a whole family, and it's a global thing that we all deal with in law enforcement. So with your support, with all the great things you're doing, how do you relax?
Playing with my children.
See, and I'm happy you said that, because some people think, oh, being at work more is more important. No. So tell us about that. Like, how do your children bring down your stress?
Posle, mislim, kao i sam znaš, ovaj posao je veoma stres i mi svašta vidimo prilikom rada. Ali kad dođemo u kući, kad se smena, shift završi, mi isključimo se i posvetimo se porodici. Oni dolaze, igraju se s nama, radimo domaće zadatke, čitamo knjige, idemo u selo. Znači, sve zavisi od čoveka, gde si, šta želiš. Neki si odmaraju tako što rade, kao što si ti rekao. More work. Yeah. Sve zavisi do čoveka. Ali kad smo kod tih stresnih situacija, mi kao sindikat pravili smo par nekih tribina upravo o stresu, o načinu kako taj stres policajac da prihvati i da prođe kroz tebe, da ne ostaju posljedice.
Bad things. I kind of understand what you're saying right now. Yeah, go ahead, because of the body.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Which is good. I like that.
Pravili smo tribine, like your books, tribine, pozovemo naše članove da oni dođu i tu su psihijatri, psiholozi, ljudi iz te sfere i oni vrše edukaciju naših članova, pripadnika Ministarstva unutrašnjih poslova, kako stresne situacije dostavimo na poslu i da dođemo kući bez toga.
Man, it's like I said, man. When it comes to family life, I believe that it has to be the priority,
Yes.
And I could tell that because I mean, you still got to work. I mean, you still got to make money. You still got to pay for food. You still have to pay for rakia. But I heard you. I mean, we'll talk about that another time. But I heard you can make it.
Rakia making.
Yeah, I did.
Making.
Yeah, but there's some things you still have to buy. Like, I mean, just to have electricity at home, you have to pay. You still got to work, but you got to know you're doing that for a purpose. Like you're doing it because your wife. You're doing it because of your kids, and I don't want people sometimes to work so hard that they forget what they're doing it for. And it's easy, especially things like the police union, to get too stressed out. But the fact that your first response was you should spend time with your kids, that's so cool, man. I mean, because I always try to highlight that anybody in law enforcement, like, hey, you need to go home to your family. Like, I know when you're stressed, like you were mentioning, like if you're too stressed, you project it onto them. And I think that's what you might have been saying, or like if you're having a bad day, because I saw the back, but you have to learn how to fight that because the stress never ends at work. But when you get home, your kids just want you to be there.
Stress stay, but you're playing with children and stress forgot.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You forget. Yeah. You lose the stress.
Forget and stress out.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Simple. Yeah. But that's important because sometimes we forget about that. And we forget that as law enforcement, we put our uniform on, and then even people look at us and are like, they don't have any stress. Yes, we do. But playing with, just doing this thing, like if you have children, like some people are like, oh, I don't have children, I have a dog or a cat. Well, go play with them.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Do something that takes that stress away. Like if you need to play with your kids and act like a kid, do that. Because for that time, whether it's 5 minutes or 8 hours, you're going to feel better. So with that, everything we've talked about, if somebody was looking to find you, where could they go?
Mogu me pronaći na Instagram stranici. Instagram, imam posebnu Instagram stranicu Ivan Guduric, Facebook nalog. Policijski sindikat Srbije, Beograd, Zeleni venac broj 2, kancelarija, sve je javno dostupno, mogu da pronađu, bilo kakav problem da imaju, da se jave. Uvek tu imaju ljudi koji rade 24 časa, 24 hours, da pozovu i mi smo tu da im pomognemo ono što je naravno u našoj moći. To je to. Is that?
Yeah. I mean, Instagram, I know we follow each other. LinkedIn, actually, where I met you. And people are like, once again, how did you find it? I use social media to my advantage. I just plugged in police, Serbia, and you're one of the days because you were just. I know when I messaged you, you were like, "Who is this guy messaging me? Who's this American guy?" But because that's the benefits of social media, that we can find people quickly, and then obviously Facebook is another way, and then like just if you reach out to the police union of Serbia, I'm sure they can connect you. But like I said, I love the transparency. I love that you're open to help people out. And you're supporting it from all levels. Like sometimes we see law enforcement back in the day when you and I started, we were like, at least in the U.S., you were scared to tell people you were police on things like social media because not scared, but you had a fear that they may look at you the wrong way. But now it's places that people want to come. Like we make movies about police. We don't make movies about accountants.
Yes.
And if you're an accountant watching, I'm sorry, but you don't have a lot of TV shows and podcasts about accounting. But everybody wants to do what we do in a sense, but not a lot of people can. So the fact that you've been doing it for 20 years, I think it's important that people, if they're thinking about the Serbian police or they're trying to understand what you guys do, reaching out to you would be very vital through the platforms you talked about. And when I have it edited, I will put those on there so people can reach out because I don't want people to guess what's going on here in Serbia. In the sense of, I don't know how your media outlet is, but in the U.S., sometimes we can cast a negative image on law enforcement. So I like people to be able to come directly to the source. So I think that's important for people to know. So with that, and people know where to find you, what final words do you have for anybody that's in law enforcement, anybody looking at it, or anybody that wants to be in it?
To što imam da im kažem za sve moje kolege zaposlene u Ministarstvu unutrašnjih poslova je da pristupe Policijskom sindikatu Srbije, da pruže podršku nama i mi smo tu uvijek za njih da se borimo, da im bude bolje, da imaju dostojanstvo rada, da budu plaćeni za taj rad dovoljno. Tako da uvijek su tu za njih. Policijski sindikat Srbije, Police Union Serbije.
I'm gonna have so much fun when this gets edited in general because I feel like there's so many things you probably said in the Serbian language that I missed, but the things that I understood.
You listen?
Huh? Yeah, I did listen. Yeah, no, but I can tell because I'm excited. I'm an energy a person. Obviously, I came in here with a lot of energy, and although I slept like 4 or 5 hours last night, well, that's a whole nother podcast. That's the After Hours podcast. But it's just like I'm very happy and I'm very grateful that you allowed me to come here in your workplace and we talk about life and just enjoy it. And when people are looking back and they look at the Serbian culture, I want them to know that you're a stand-up person, like you're somebody that they can look at as a positive role model. Yes. And like I said, me just going back, I'm excited. I may send it to if I can get my upload speeds quickly, I might send it to my editor tonight to start working on.
Ja samo mogu kažem, welcome to Serbia.
Well, yes, welcome, yes. Literally, I tell people, I landed here at about 1,200 hours yesterday, and now, like I said, by the time I push this out, it'll be October. I mean, it's 1,500 hours now, and I have felt welcome. I have felt very welcome here, and I know when I talk about it to other people, it's going to be the same tone. Like, hey, man, if you haven't been to Belgrade, Serbia, or any part of Serbia, this is the place to come because they have great people like you, Ivan. And the fact that we're able to do this, we have the Police Union of Serbia, insignia, we have that. And just the environment here in the country, it's like you walk through and you just appreciate it. But once again, it's what you guys, one of the things you all are doing here in the police union. And in the U.S., certain pockets, we have that, but not everywhere. And we're trying to get that everywhere. So the fact that you guys have that here, we want to hear more. Welcome to Serbia. Welcome to Belgrade. We want that. And my goal is to highlight what you guys are doing here. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being on the podcast. Thank you for sharing. And people, so you know, my book is now in Serbia. Not in Serbian yet, but let me make sure this is the right copy for you, Ivan. Let me see. Yep, this is your copy. But
thanks, Mike. Thanks.
I wrote it in English.
Okay.
I wrote your stuff in English. Yes. One day I'm going to learn how to write some Serbian. I heard there's 2 different types. There's Cyrillic and then the Latin side or something like that. Is that right?
Yes.
Cyrillic? Okay. He's like, who you been talking to? I'm learning. I'm learning because because the Cyrillic. The Cyrillic is like this, right?
Cyrillic. Yes.
Yeah. And then, but then.
Latinica.
Huh?
Yes.
But then the Latin side is more like what we see. Yeah. So because I was confused, I was like, why is it 2 different things? I was like, oh well, this is written like
Serbia.
Yeah. Yes. I did say that. I think I did say that. But needless to say, the book is now here. Like I said, that's my gift to you guys. Yes, I was able to give you guys. Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks, Mike. Drago mi je što si došao. Drago mi je što si došao u Srbiju, što si poslao si mi poruku. Mislim, čujem se ja sa više tih ljudi, pišemo, dopisujemo se i tako, ali sam video tvoj sajt, tvoje podatke, da imaš knjigu. Ja rekao, hajde, što da ne, da snimimo podcast, da se upoznamo i možda ovo bude neki vid i saradnje u buduće. Može u Srbiji počnemo da se bavimo podcastom. Serbia podcast, Police Union podcast.
And we did talk about that. We did. And I already told you, we talked about the Serbian police podcast. I was like, I can help you set it up. Obviously, you got to. I don't have as many constraints with my podcast, which is good. But it's another angle I think that will highlight what you all are doing here. Yeah. And whether it's in country or your surrounding countries, podcasts are good because I tell people, technically, podcasts have been around for decades. We just called them radio stations before. But now this is more the digital format, and you can reach people that way too. But no, it's definitely, it's been a pleasure. Ivan. It's really been a pleasure being here. But folks, if you haven't got a chance yet, make sure you Find him on all the social medias, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You reach out because this is the place you want to be. And obviously, I could just tell you, obviously, I'm here now. I still got a few more days left. So I think my perception will continue to even get better. If you don't have Serbia on your wish list and you're thinking about going to Dubai, maybe, put Serbia above that. Because a lot of people want to go to Dubai. Dubai's nice. So my Dubai friends, I'm not saying it's not nice, but most people are going to at least get to Dubai. So let's put Serbia on there so that you go to Serbia, then Dubai. But it's definitely a place that is cool and a place that I like. But once again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to view a podcast in Serbia, and just doing great. But thank you, Ivan. I appreciate this time. And if you all need anything, if you need anything, reach out. If not, you all have a great day and be safe.